The chamber of the Galactic Accord was designed to humble. 11 tiers of curved seating rose toward a vaulted ceiling that shifted like a living aurora, home to representatives of 43 spacefaring civilizations. The acoustics were engineered so that every whisper from the central podium reached the back row with perfect clarity. The architects had intended the effect to be one of unity. What it actually produced most days was the sensation of being watched by everyone all at once. Ambassador Dana Reyes walked to the podium like she was late for a coffee. She set down a single tablet, adjusted the microphone out of habit even though the room didn't need it, and looked up at the assembled council. Behind her, the Vethkai delegation occupied the plaintiff's arc, 7 figures wrapped in iridescent carapace, their translator nodes glowing amber. They had spent the better part of an hour making their case. It had been thorough. Dana would give them that. The Vethkai arbiter rose to summarize. The position of the Vethkai Dominion is clear. Earth is encircled. Resistance is statistically impossible. We ask only that humanity acknowledge the reality of its situation and formalize the terms of its absorption into the Dominion. This is not cruelty. This is mathematics. Polite murmuring from the upper tiers. Several species nodded. The Korathi representative looked almost sympathetic. Dana waited for the room to settle. Then she tapped her tablet. The central holo projector bloomed to life. A real-time feed, live, latency corrected to under 3 seconds. Earth hung in the display like a blue marble, serene and unhurried. And there, in high orbit, clearly visible in thermal and EM spectrum overlays, were the Vethkai warships. 112 of them, arranged in a textbook encirclement pattern, every gunport visible, every shield emitter broadcasting. Beautiful fleet, Dana said. Truly, the formation is very clean. She let the council look at it for a moment. I'd like to ask the arbiter a question. She turned. When you look at that display at your ships surrounding my planet, what word comes to mind? The arbiter's translator node flickered. Dominance. Interesting. Dana tilted her head. Because when I look at it, the word I keep coming back to is clustered. She tapped the tablet again. On the live feed, a small indicator appeared. One of Earth's orbital platforms, a weather and communications array that had been in operation for 11 years. It looked to every sensor in the room exactly like what it was supposed to look like. Until it didn't. A beam of coherent energy, tight, pale blue, so focused it barely registered as light, reached out from the platform and touched one of the Vethkai destroyers on the far arc of the encirclement. Not a warning shot, not a graze. It went through the destroyer like a needle through smoke. The ship's reactor containment failed in the same second. The explosion was silent in the vacuum, but the thermal bloom was spectacular, and the holoprojector rendered it in perfect detail for 43 civilizations to witness. The chamber erupted. Dana didn't move. She waited. Let the shouting crest and fall. Let the arbiter's carapace plates rattle through whatever Vethkai emotion that indicated. Then she tapped the tablet one more time. From the surface of Earth, from somewhere in what the overlay labeled as the North Atlantic, a single missile climbed out of the atmosphere. It was not a large missile. It did not need to be. It crossed the distance to the nearest Vethkai cruiser in 40 seconds and introduced itself. The cruiser came apart in a slow, graceful spiral, venting atmosphere and drive plasma in equal measure. 110 ships remained. Every one of them was now broadcasting on emergency frequencies. The encirclement pattern, so clean in textbook moments ago, was already degrading as captains made independent decisions about whether mathematics still applied. Dana looked back at the arbiter. You surrounded us with 112 ships, she said. We just let you because we were curious how many you'd send. She picked up her tablet. 2 are gone. The other 110 are trying to figure out if they're targets or spectators. She paused. I want to be very clear. Earth has not yet decided. The chamber was absolutely silent. So I'll ask you again, arbiter, since you used the word first. Her voice was calm, almost gentle. Are you sure you want us to keep surrendering to you? She stepped back from the podium and walked to her seat. Outside, in the cold between the stars, 110 Vethkai warships quietly began recalculating their exit vectors. Comment the word surrender if you want Earth to give them one more demonstration.